Hello, I'm Clara Moto. I'm in Paris tonight and playing at Showcase for the Freak Show night. And welcome to Intruders TV. I think for this album I had more time, so I was really more into it. I really thought about it, and I had more like of a concept. And it was also more difficult. It was really difficult for me because the first one just happened really quickly and it was okay, but the second one was I was really stressed and it was really intense, and I spent a lot of time by myself, and but in the end I'm happy, and I think it's a little bit different sound. It's less dance floor, and now I really look forward to playing live as well. So,
oh.
Yeah.
You're gonna play in live tonight?
No, tonight it's a DJ set. I still have time to figure out.
You don't feel already ready for that, but in a few months, maybe after the release?
I used to play live. I had one live act that I played, but this live act is going to be different. It's going to be more live. I try to sing a bit, so it's more like, it's not a dance floor act.
Okay. And you said you spent more times on this album. How many times did you spend?
2 years, maybe.
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
But I mean, with breaks, but all in all,
with gigs.
It was 2 years.
About the sound, you said it's going to be less dance floor. I know you got some. You made some studied piano before. You had some jazz influence, and you felt that you expressed this kind of influence, or more maybe electronic, even if it's less dance floor. How do you feel about it?
No, of course. I mean, also I bought myself like a proper piano, and I think I used it a lot for this album, even not in a really like professional way or like really complex harmonies, but still I don't know. It was I used to play a lot with keys and harmonics and stuff like this. This was,
and with the first one, it was the same tools that you use, or maybe more digital?
It was different. The first album, it was like more like a mix of tracks I had and in the end it made more sense. But for this album, it was really like every track was written
in a
kind of for the album. Yes, They emerged from a kind of mood, but always I had always the idea that it's going to be an
idea
and emotion mostly. Yeah.
And the idea about the concept you had, even if it's sometimes hard to describe, but did it come at the first tracks, or it came after 2 or 3 tracks, and you said, that's what I want. That's the idea I want.
Yeah, I think this came after a couple of tracks, because I wanted to make dance tracks and started with 120 BPM, but then I always put the tempo down and put a different mood on everything, and after, as you said, after 3 tracks, I was like, maybe this could be like the kind of concept of my album, and the title is Blue Distance, which, because I was living in Berlin, so it was all about this kind of distance with family and friends you have, and distance from what I'm doing, and distance, also from what I'm doing, and the recipient who listens to what I'm doing. There's always this kind of distance, and this was my idea about it.
Okay, you wanted to describe with music an idea you had about some facts about family, distance.
It's mostly this kind of thing with distance, or the distance between tones and semitones.
Because often artists make some music, and it's after that the music makes them think about something.
I mean, it came at the same time. Like after 3 tracks, I was like, it was really a thing that occupied me, like this whole topic of distance and how I'm distant sometimes with people, and this was a kind of influence. influence.
Okay, we see that. And sometimes did it happen you to produce a track, to like the track, but to say to yourself, I like this, but it's not going to be on the album, and to keep it for something else?
I don't know, because for these tracks, for this album, I was always like putting tracks that I would not put normally. I was like, no, I can
okay.
really put it on the album because, yeah,
Modern
it's not
tempo.
a dance. Yeah, it's not a dance track, so really, it's really also personal. I mean, like always, but yeah, dance tracks, for example, are never really that personal for me. They're more like, yeah, it's cool, but yeah, the more slower tracks, they're really like, yeah, where I try to express something.
So you're gonna have an album to come. You didn't release any EPs or album on your name from 3 years from the last album.
Yeah.
You did make some remixes.
I did remixes. I didn't do a lot of EPs. I don't know. I always had the idea that I want to keep the track for the album, and EPs, it's really for the dance floor and functional, and I never had anything to. Yeah, I think there was no track that would be really great for EP, but now there is one, but it's a mixed EP. It has also some non-dance floor tracks on it.
Weren't you afraid, or did you have a kind of pressure from friends or maybe labels to release something? Because you know
I mean, the album, yes, there was of course this kind of, but not from anybody than me. Like, I put a lot of pressure because it's the second album. So with the first album, I was really naive. You know, I was like, yeah, just an album, and I didn't think really about anything. But for the second album, I was really in my head and nervous and stressed. But this is also kind of influence for the album, and that kept me going. This kind of doubts that I had always.
And you were focused for 2 years on your album, but sometimes did you think about maybe one day I'm going to make something else about the sounds? Maybe some things you already did, like post garage music or something else. We spoke about hip hop, and you sometimes think, oh, if I made a hip hop track.
Yeah, I mean, on my album there are some hip hop tracks, so with hip hop beats, and I mean, I'm not rapping, but like the hip hop, and I also going to collaborate with a friend who is doing a movie, and I really like the idea of doing music for pictures. Because I never did this, and mostly people come to me and want to make a video for a track, but I really would like to do the opposite, because I think it's really, really interesting to to see something and to work especially for this, and not like to make everything up by yourself. So that would be really interesting.
So after your album, you may think much better about it.
This now I have free time, so this would be really a good time to think about different projects and maybe more sound installations, and do a little bit, not just playing, but be more open-minded about everything.
On your album, it's not only electronic music. There is some.
I mean, everything is electronic, but it's I had a drummer, I had a flutist, I had a cedar player, singer.
But you think you're gonna stay with electronic tools? I mean, not really coming to acoustic.
No.
Just
I mean, it's all one,